Hey guys, Adam Lobel from Knuckle TF Up. That's Knuckle TF Up. We're here to talk about Rajadamnern World Series Muay Thai from yesterday, Saturday, September 27th, 2025. We're going to jump right into it. I got two more shows to watch. That is Bare Knuckle Boxing and Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship, and come back to you and give you my thoughts. So let's get right into RWS Muay Thai from Saturday, September 27th, 2025. Amy Duke versus Rungratri was the first fight. The ladies kicked this off. Now, this was one of the first two prelim bouts, but look, oftentimes I find the prelim bouts on every show, not just RWS, as exciting as the regular show, and these two were as good as anything I saw on the main show. Duke, an American. You don't see a whole lot of Americans in Muay Thai. Now, someone's going to say, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. I'm telling you, I watch one Muay Thai and I watch RWS. I'll watch a little bit of other Muay Thai here or there, but really I prefer English commentary. I just do. Hearing the commentators tell me what's going on helps me to understand and learn more about Muay Thai. So I can watch and enjoy it without any commentary if I had to, but I just prefer English commentary to help me learn what's going on along the way of my Muay Thai journey. I'm still only a couple months in to watching Muay Thai, and as much as I love it, I'm not ready to do without my English commentary to help walk me along and get to know the fighters. You know, you want to know who they are and what they're about and what their records are and stuff like that. It just adds to the excitement and the enjoyment. And this one was great. The first round was back and forth pretty evenly, but I'm going to tell you right now, it just felt like Duke led this whole match. Rungratri, very good fighter, could have easily won this at any time. She's as capable as anyone, but Duke won round one, as the judges agreed with me. Round two, Duke was controlling the round once again, doing as she pleased. She pretty much moved where she wanted, struck and kicked when she liked, while, having to put on some defense. It's not like Rungratri came in there and got walked on. And no, that's not what I'm talking about whatsoever. But the judges once again agreed with me, giving the round to Duke 10-9. Rungratri at this point needs a knockdown or a knockout to win this. And Duke was on her back foot in the third round. What do I mean by that? I mean, in the first two rounds, Duke was pressing forward, fighting off her front foot, right? That's why they kick that calf when they can. They do those hard kicks to the calf, because if you can take somebody's lead leg out, good luck winning a fight when you can't fight off your front foot. But since Duke won the first two rounds pretty decisively, again, it wasn't a total wipeout or anything like that, but since she won the first two rounds decisively, she was sort of fighting from her back foot. She was taking it easy, if you will, because again, Rungratri, in order to win this, needs to knock her down or knock her out. So as long as she plays good defense, she has this fight won. And this allowed Rungratri to come forward. And honestly, I thought Rungratri won the third round. She was a little bit more active. She was definitely advancing more and was showing us what she had more than she did the first two rounds. But the judges gave all three rounds to your winner, and that is no complaint, because Amy Duke, as legit as they come, wins this fight in RWS opening bout prelim battle. Very good back and forth. Even though it was won unanimously, I'd probably give the third round to Rungratri, but no problem that they didn't, honestly. Amy Duke is your winner here. Great way to kick off this show, and that's how I feel. I thought it was a strong, solid fight. I think you will too if you check this show out. The second and the final prelim match from RWS Muay Thai from Saturday, September 27, 2025, was Karel Hudek in the red corner taking on Ram 10 Manapi in the blue. Manapi is a sort of a towering looking force of a guy, taking nothing away from Hudek. He's a big guy as well. I like seeing these tall guys go in there and go at it. Even though this was around the 140-pound weight limit here, super lightweight, they still were towering figures, and they went back and forth. It just looks really good when you see the two bigger guys, taller guys go in there and get in each other's faces. It started a little slow, but quickly picked up the pace with both men advancing and throwing stiff strikes and kicks. Now, I'm talking at first, the first 30 seconds to the first minute, a little slow pace. The guys were getting the feel, right? They're trying to find the pace. They're trying to find it how they're going to win this fight. They want to see what their strategy is going to be. But again, after about the first minute, they just I'm not saying strategy went out the window. I'm not saying that at all. But they just did pick up the pace and started throwing those long legs around as if they were clubs, right? Always impressive. At 55 years old, I get a little bit achy when I throw my legs off the side of the bed when I wake up in the morning. So it's always fun seeing these incredible athletes be able to utilize legs the way that they do, every bit as freely and as comfortably as they do their arms and their shoulders and stuff like that. Hard for me to say who round won, but if I had to, I would say Manafi edged it out just a little bit. The judges gave round 1 to Manafi 10-9. Even a more active second round, both men delivering big time. I mean, they're just coming out there, giving into each other. Now, they were blocking, they were dodging, they were weaving as the best they could, but both of these men were typically eating the other's offense, blocking and dodging, like I said, when they could, but still just constantly coming forward. It's a rare scene when you have a fight where both fighters just continually come at one another. It's usually one or the other pushing the direction they want to go. Not here, but I still felt Manafi won the second round. He's just a little bit more powerful, and you can see that in the strikes. You can see that in how he takes a strike and how he gives a strike. He's a little more powerful, and the judges agreed with me here, which is rare. They gave the first 2 rounds to Manafi. Okay, so Manafi could have coasted in the third round because, much like the first fight where Amy Dukes sort of fought off her back foot, Manafi did not do that. He did the opposite. He came and completely destroyed Hudek with constant strikes, finishing him with a spinning back elbow. I'm telling you, this is why I love Muay Thai. I mean, this is not just strikes. These are like, you remember you ever played with a top when you were a little kid? You just spun it and they spun around. You would have fun just watching those things spin, right? Crazy as that sounds. When people in my generation were young, we could enjoy things like that. I remember I had a top that had like a little pump on it. You could pump it and let it go and just watch this thing spin. In some ways, that's what Muay Thai fighters remind me of. Like, imagine if you could connect a hard object to that top, give it a spin, and it knocked all your other toys down or something like that. Sounds kind of silly, I guess. But that's what Muay Thai fighters can put me in the mind of. Such ridiculous skill that a spinning, and if I had the room, I'd show you on my desk chair. He just spins around, hammers him with an elbow, knocks him out. This is it. I mean, Hudek is down, and they had to bring a stretcher in. Now, as a former pro wrestling fan, I always enjoyed stretcher gimmicks, Someone's going out on a stretcher. But this is real, man. This isn't a story. This guy had such a powerful spinning back elbow that he knocked the dude out, and he had to be taken off on a stretcher. Ramtin Manafi is the man. I can't wait to see more of his bouts, that's for sure. Then we had, again, this is from 9/27 yesterday, the third fight is Isai Ishii in the red corner taking on Fu Shinga, it's Fu Sing in the blue corner. So again, Isai Ishii in the red corner and Fu Sing in the blue corner. The first round was technical. Now, that doesn't mean it was an active, but both guys were trying to figure each other out, but they weren't setting the pace. It was a technical, scientific fight, if you understand what I'm saying. They really tried to work the fight in an intelligent, I'm going to take you down kind of way without flailing around and without just swinging wildly. And that's not saying all the fighters do that. It's hard to explain what a scientific round is, but that's pretty much how this started. One was about volume. One of the fighters was about how many swings can I get in? Again, not being wild and crazy, but I'm going to use my formula, my method, my style as coming at you continuously. And the other fighter was just, no, I'm just about power and output. I'm going to take my strikes and my kicks in a more methodical way, but try to apply power to them. So it was about power versus speed, in a way, power versus output. Which did the judges reward? Round 1 is a split decision. Fu Sing, and I think Fu Sing won. 2 judges said he won the first round, and Ishii, 1 judge, said he won the first round. And anytime this happens, this often leads to the third round being the deciding round. We'll have to wait and see what happened. Ishii came out on fire in the second round. And that caused Fu Sing to pick it up as well. So this strategy where it was power versus, output is gone now. Now they're both coming at each other with everything that they have. Just strikes, and I always feel generic when I describe a fight this way. But fights like this are fights that you have to see to really comprehend. They're hard to explain. I'm sure one of the commentators who are more skilled and more understanding of Muay Thai than I am, no matter how much I love it, and I'm still learning, could do a better job of this. But this was pretty much an even round once as well. And this will come down to who the judges think is the better fighter here. Who was better, the kicker, the striker. All three judges give round 2 to Ishii, which pretty much ties us up here. Pretty close. Ishii has a slight edge going into the third, but really it's going to come down to the winner of round 3. And unfortunately, in a way, there was a ridiculous amount of clinching in the third round. Now, I am beginning to understand Muay Thai strategy better. Clinching, of course, is a strategy to keep your opponent from hitting you, right? If you get in close and can hug, you can deliver knees. And boy, there's a lady coming up later that delivered knees in a clinch like nobody I've ever seen, man or woman. We'll get there. That's what these two were doing. They were kneeing. They were sort of trying to fight in a phone booth, if you will, if you can picture that inside of many of you who can remember what a phone booth used to be. Very small space. You get in there and they try to fight in there. A lot of them tackling each other to the ground, not always on purpose. They're fighting, clinched up, and they fall over. A lot of that. So while I understand the strategy, it took away from the fight for me a little bit. Didn't make it bad, but they went from fighting pretty in a more awesome, more entertaining way to a more strategic, close, guarded way with a lot of clinching. In the end of the fight, I was to the point where I didn't care who won, and not because I didn't like the fight, but it was too hard to call. First round, second round, now this third round full of clinches and falling and takedowns. I don't know. I didn't know who to say who had won, and the third round made it even more difficult for me. So the winner by split decision was Fu Sing, which is remarkable because I think it was sort of a comeback for him. He definitely lost the first round, and the second was split, and he wins the fight overall by split decision. I'm not saying don't watch this fight. The third round was somewhat of a snooze fest because of the strategy they both utilized, even though I understand it. But Fu Sing with a big win here by split decision. So the fight was close the whole way through. Next up on the show, 9/27/25, the fourth fight of the night, the second of the main show, was the ladies' fight I referenced to just a second ago. The RWS atomweight champion. This was not a title fight, but she was out to be challenged, and that is Muay Kupech, the atomweight champion, taking on Mafia. And yes, that is her name. I know you're going to hear some names like this. It isn't Mafia like the group of Italians in New York who take people out but don't talk about their business. No, that is just this young lady's name, and by young I mean young, 16 years old. Mafia, 16 years old, fighting Muay Kupech, the atomweight champion. Again, not for the title, but still, that's a ridiculously good spot to be in for a 16-year-old Mafia. Now, when I talk about Muay Kupech, this is what she did all round, and it's going to sound like, well, that doesn't sound too exciting. You got to see this. I mean, I wish I don't know. I have room to stand up. It'll look ridiculous on camera. This Muay Kupech would lift her knee and drive it forward. It was ridiculous. They would get in a clinch or they would get close to each other, and Muay Kupech just has one of the best knees I've ever seen. A lot of times a knee strike is just, bring it up and hit somebody, bring it up and hit somebody, right? That just makes sense. But Muay Kupech brings it up and extends it forward. I'm talking like 6 inches. I'm sure there are other athletes that can do it, but I've never seen someone this effective with a knee over and over and over. And Mafia is known for her striking, right? So she wants to get close. She doesn't necessarily want to clinch, but she wants to get close so she can use her power. Even, a 3-inch punch can kill somebody, right? Can knock you on your ass. But anytime she got close, she got clinched and kneed horribly. I mean, you have to see it again to understand. She just grabs her, drives her knee into her. The judges give both rounds to Muay Kupech. The third round means that Mafia really has to pick it up. She's not doing poorly. Her strategy is just not winning the day. It doesn't win the third round either. She does get more offensive, not verbally, but striking-wise and kick-wise. She does it like Muay Kupech. I don't think she necessarily fought her for back foot, but through desperation to try to at least win one round, Mafia picked it up, but it did not accomplish her goal, her task. I think it was close to being able to give it to her. I do. And it would have been nice to see the young kid get one round on the champion, but it wasn't to be. Muay wins all 3 rounds and wins unanimously. I really enjoyed this one. Mafia, I think, is going to be a legit badass. She is something. Taking nothing away from Muay, our champion, but Mafia is on her way to the top. Keep an eye on her. Next up on this show was Kun Suk Noi in the red corner, and he is one of a twin brother that is set to fight. His twin brother is up next. He took on Dieselek in the blue corner. So Kun Suk Noi in the red, Dieselek in the blue. Fun first round, both men giving strong shots, but especially Kun Suk Noi, who landed 2 flying knees. It's an awesome move. It's something that you don't see much because they're very hard to hit. Usually they're used when a fighter has their opponent in a corner dazed. They might try to finish him by running in, lifting their knee high up into them. Kun Suk Noi came in and did this twice in the first round, just randomly. Just pulled the spot out of his pocket and bam, nailed it twice. Now, to his credit, didn't take Dieselek out. Dieselek's very inspired here because Dieselek is expected to lose here. Not because he's not good. This division, this weight limit, these guys are something else in this whole entire division, and any of them can beat any one of the others. But look, the twins, the twin fellows, Kun Suk Noi and his brother is coming up next. They're just a star of the division. They're very popular. The fans pop for them big time. But let me tell you something, Dieselek is no joke. He came in and the judges gave round 1 to Kun Suk Noi 10-9, but it was a very close fight. In round 2, it was like Kun Suk Noi came out like, no, Dieselek is giving me a hell of a fight. I got the first round, and I'm grateful, but I got to take this guy out. I've got to just get on my horse and drive hard. He punched through the guard of Dieselek. I mean, you know, when you have your guard up and a guy can just drive his fist, separating that and hammer you in the face, you're in trouble. Dieselek was in trouble, went back. As he went back, Kun Suk Noi delivered a huge left head kick, just lifted his leg up, hammered this guy in the side of the head as if he was swinging a baseball bat, and down Dieselek went. And at 36 seconds into the second round, Kun Suk Noi stands victorious with a big, fun, enjoyable knockout. This was great because Dieselek came in to show I can stand with one of the twins. I can stand with the top fighters in this division. In the first round, he lost, but it was close. It was damn close, and it really made Kun Suk Noi come out and turn up the volume and end this fight so he didn't give Dieselek any more chances to beat him. I love things like that, and this was a great bout for that reason. Next up was the other twin that I talked about, Kun Suk Lek. And he took on Suui. So Kun Suk Lek in the red, Suui in the blue. The twin brother, again, Kun Suk Lek of our last winner, extremely close first round, both guys doing well. And again, you got to understand, these twins are stars. These twin boys, these twin men, they're very young though. I can get away with calling them boy instead of men because I'm old enough to be their dad or maybe their grandfather. I don't know. Super young guys. Extremely talented. Their reputation is just, it goes before them like a red carpet. And so we got Siui coming in like, well, I take this guy out. I made something of myself, right? But it was extremely close in the first round. I would say Siui looked just a little better in the first round. How dare I? But that's how I saw it. And Suui wins the first round. The judges saw that too. Much like his twin brother's fight, very close round, but this time the twin, Kun Suk Lek, loses the first round in a split decision. 2 judges saw it for Suui 10-9, but the third judge said Kun Suk Lek won 10-9. Another great round from both guys. So many strikes, kicks, and elbows from both guys in the second round. This is a must-see fight for sure because it is extremely active. You're not going to be bored. You're not going to be yelling at them to get out of the clinch. You're not going to be sitting back eating your nachos. You're going to be leaning on the edge of your seat watching this second round. The judges gave round 2 to Kun Suk Lek. So the third round will absolutely determine the winner. And in the third round, both men mirrored each other. It was incredible. I used to play football in high school, right? And would have these drills once in a while. They'd pull you out and one of your other teammates, and you'd say mirror drill. And whatever you did, whoever the coach pointed to, your teammate had to copy. So, you ran in place, you had to run in place. You dropped down onto your stomach, you had to drop down, got back up, spun in a circle, did high knees, whatever you were doing, whatever exercise, whatever practice method you were using, if you ran the ropes, whatever it was, your teammate had to match you, had to mimic you. And I felt like I was watching something like this because it was elbow for elbow. It was punch for punch. It was kick for kick the entire round. Whatever the one guy did, the other fighter did. It was incredible. Hard to say who won that. It really was. But in the end, the judges gathered all their information, gave the third round, and said Ken Sulek is your unanimous winner. I did disagree with that somewhat. Ken Sulek is amazing, but I felt like he won 2 rounds to 1. I really don't think it should have been unanimous, but not a big deal, really. Very close fight. Ken Sulek comes out top. His brother comes in the ring and stands with him. So we had Ken Suknoy and Ken Sulek standing side by side. It was really funny, not in a like haha way, but really like a fun way to see them, because this was the main event of the show, even though we have one fight left, to see them stand side by side and talk about challenging for the title and their weight division, which is around the 120 mark, 120, 122. And super bantamweight, talking about Ken Sulek challenging for that title with his brother standing beside him. Will we ever get to the point where we'll see the brothers fight? I don't know. Hard to root against that. I mean, may not like to see brothers fight, but hey, this is Muay Thai, and if you want to be the best in the world and you're both in the same division and you're both 2 of the best, I think the day is going to come, and it might be for the RWS Super Bantamweight title, and what a fight that would be. And as is the norm, as is typical for RWS, they will throw a match on after the main event. It's just something that they're known for. At least I've come to know them to be known for. So let's take a look at the final fight after the main event. The 7th and final fight. We're talking about Felipe de Rosa in the red corner taking on Fernando Amaya in the blue corner. Both men are very strong. I mean, this is super middleweight, so we definitely got some bigger guys. Their height was 187 and 180. I think it's centimeters. I don't remember what that translates to. It's something I'll have to learn along the way. Both of them right around 168 pounds. And they just looked massive in there. Like I said about one of the fights earlier, these guys looked even bigger because they were. They're not short, and they are heavy. In the super middleweight. Of course, we got heavyweights out there, but still, super middleweight division. They're strong, and they showed it here. De Rosa busted Amaya's left eye open early in the first round. It looked bad. It looked like it might have sliced one of his eyelids. I don't know, or the corner. I mean, it looked like there was a circle of blood around his eye, and I was like, God, they're going to end up stopping this. But they did not. It cleaned up pretty well. Looked horrible, but cleaned up pretty well. Like I said, I was just hoping this fight could continue. It did. The judges gave round 1 to De Rosa. I don't think it was just because he split his eye open, but he looked a little stronger, I think. More solid action from both men in the second round. Just going at it, again, punch for punch, strike for strike, kick for kick. Both guys not afraid. Neither guy backing down. Neither guy slowing the pace. This bout was the kind of fight I like to see as well. Round 1 wasn't quite as wild and exciting as the second round, but it was still good. We got both men in there just using every ounce of power and ability that they have. I didn't know who they would give the second round to, but De Rosa celebrated like he won the fight at the end of round 2. But I think it's very close. But the judges give round 2 to Amaya in a split decision. So you see what we got going on here. We got De Rosa winning round 1 and Amaya winning round 2. So now round 3 is going to determine the fight. Great third round, blow for blow from both men. I feel that Amaya won the third round. I really do. I feel like Amaya, ever since he cut his eye, sort of turned it up. And I was right about round 2. Would I be right about round 3? Of course I can't be right all the time, and I was not here. The judges give the unanimous decision to Felipe de Rosa. I wouldn't mind seeing a rematch of this fight. I really don't. I am not trying to say in any way, shape, or form that Amaya was ripped off or anything like that, but I would have given the fight to him. But that doesn't mean De Rosa wasn't any good. There stands your winner, Felipe De Rosa, of the last fight of the show. I'm going to give this show an 8 out of 10. Very good. Some very solid knockouts, which I always love and appreciate. Still a little bit too many fights going the distance. I saw some guys win that I was like, I'm okay with, but I felt it should have been at least a split decision, and it wasn't. I think the wrong guy won this final match, even though I'm not angry or upset or let down by it. It's just my personal opinion. So, guys, come on, let's finish these matches. Let's start taking some guys out so we don't have to go to these stinking judges. No offense to them. I respect them for being in the business and know way more than I do, obviously. But, man, finishing fights is so much more better and leaves no question as to who won. We all win, though, with Muay Thai fighting, just like we all win anytime we watch a show by RWS. Like I said, 8 out of 10. I'm Adam Lavelle, knuckletfup.com. Please subscribe to the YouTube, bookmark the channel, follow me, because I will bring you all the discussion about the best combat sports in the world, which include RWS, again, before you know it.